Hello and welcome to We Learn. Session 2, Part 2, Cross Culture and Global Management, the Meaning and Dimensions of a Culture. Topic will be cover Value in Culture, Hofstede Culture Dimension, the Globe Project. Value in the culture. As in the previous part of this session, we will study about the culture and how culture affects the managerial practices. So in this session, we were actually going to study about the values concept. Values are basically belief about what is right and wrong. So we can say that it is generally the preference, what we prefer. So they drive often unconsciously overthinking and action. So managerial value influences all managerial activities such as communication, superior subordinate relationships, selections and reward systems, leadership and so on. So in that terms, yes, values are more kind of in a belief in terms of how we think, how we perceive the thing. So that is the same the values in a culture कि कल्चर के अंदर वैल्यूज कैसे आते हैं. वैल्यूज आर बेसिकली लर्न फ्रॉम द कल्चर इन विच द इंडिविजुअल इज रेट इन दैट टर्म्स. यस कि किस तरीके से वो अपनी कल्चर वैल्यूज या अपने कल्चर को किस तरीके की इंपॉर्टेंस प्रोवाइड करवाता है. Defense in the cultural value may result in the varying management practices. In that terms, yes, there are always a difference in the cultural values. There are always a different thoughts of every culture. So in that terms, yes, cultural values affected the management practices. So basic convict that the people have about, so the basic factors which people thought about, that is right and wrong. What is right and wrong इस तरीके का decide करना. That is belief, what is good and bad, what is important and unimportant. So this is values in a culture. कि एक कल्चर के अंदर क्या चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, क्या चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं हैं, सिर्फ यही सब चीज़ें होती हैं जो उनकी वैल्यूज़ को डिफाइन करती हैं. Now yes, on the taking the consideration of this values in a cultural concept, this is the first theory, that's the Hofstede culture dimensions, which gives the idea about how the culture and the organizations was actually created. So Greet Hofstede in his book Cultures and Organization, which is the kind of, we can say, the software of a mind is the full name of that book. It's basically stating that the restriction research on one company, and he tried to eliminate the impact of changing organization culture and analyze the influence of the different national culture. So in that case, इसने ये define करने की कोशिश की थी. This is the experiment conducted in the one country and they want to decide, emphasize on that कि एक culture change जो है organization में कैसा impact देता है, and yes at the same time किस तरीके से हमारा जो national culture होता है वो भी affect करता है organization को. Work related, or we can say that the finding demonstrated that, क्या finding इसके अंदर आई थी, that is first is work related values are not universal. जो भी work related values होती हैं वो universal नहीं होती. Underlining value persist when a multinational companies tries to impose the same norms. So किसी भी तरीके की companies होती हैं वो कभी भी same norms follow नहीं करती हैं. Then local value determine how the headquarter regulations are interpreted. Yes, at the same time जो local surroundings होते हैं उसके impact भी बहुत ज़्यादा हमारी regulations को impact करते हैं, एक organization की regulation को impact करते हैं. And yes, by implications, a multinational that tries to insist on the uniformity is in the danger of creating moral problem and efficiency. Yes, at the same time, जितनी भी एक multinational concept arise होते हैं, जो multinational factors arise होते हैं, that further lead towards the dangerous for creating the moral problem and inefficiencies. So in that terms, there were the four well-known dimensions was there. सिर्फ इन्हीं assumptions, इन्हीं demonstrated को ध्यान में रखते हुए, there were the four well-known, we can say that the dimensions of this theory. That first dimension is the power distance, second is uncertainty avoidance, then individualism and collectivism, then masculine and femininity. In that case, we were discussing all one by one. First is power distance. Power distance, basically it is the extent to which the less powerful members of the organization accept the power in the distributed unequally. So it is kind of the distance between individual at a different level of hierarchy. एक जो पोजिशनल पावर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में होती है ये इस डिफरेंट को ज़्यादा शो करता है. सो कंट्री इन विच पीपल बेसिकली ओबेज द ऑर्डर ऑफ देयर सुपीरियर have a higher power distance. So in that case, जो जितना ज़्यादा ओबीडेंट और जितना ज़्यादा ओबे फैक्टर्स होते हैं वो उतने ही ज़्यादा अपने दूर होते हैं अपने सुपीरियर से ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो इन दैट केस लेस पावरफुल मेंबर accept the power is distributed unequally. If there was a less powerful member, जितने कम powerful members एक सोसाइटी के अंदर होंगे, दैट मीन्स द पावर इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अनइक्वली. तो एक पावर जो है वो अनइक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होती है, इसका क्लियर मतलब ये होता है. सो इन दैट केस द पावर कैन बी ऑफ अ टू टाइप. वन इज हाई पावर डिस्टेंस कंट्री, अनदर इज लो पावर डिस्टेंस कंट्री. High power distance country is basically the people blindly obey the superior. That is high power, जब वो अपने superiors को blindly obey करते हैं without taking any kind of the answerings. So in that case, yes, the people are more, we can say that the overall structure of the organization are more the centralized and tall structure. वो उतना ही ज़्यादा centralized और tall structure होता है. जैसे कि we were taking the example of the Mexico, South Korea and India is the one countries जिसके अंदर high power distance countries होती हैं, जहाँ पर एक तरीके का distribution जो होता है पावर्स का वो लेस होता है, बिकॉज दे वर द फ्यू नंबर्स ऑफ द पावर मेंबर, बिकॉज इट इज हाई पावर डिस्टेंस कंट्रीज में ज़्यादा पावर्स का बहुत डिस्टेंस है. एंड लो पावर डिस्टेंस कंट्रीज वेरी मच फ्लैट डिसेंट्रलाइज कंट्रीज, डिसेंट्रलाइज स्ट्रक्चर, बहुत ही डिसेंट्रलाइज स्ट्रक्चर होता है. दे वर स्मॉलर रेशियो ऑफ सुपीरियर्स टू एम्प्लॉयज. येस, एट द सेम टाइम superiors और employees में बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं होता. They can talk, they can share their feelings. So that is why they were very much flat and decentralized structure. So in that terms, we were taking the example of Austria, Finland, and Ireland, like company like those. Second factor is uncertainty avoidance. It is basically the extent to which people feel threatened by the ambiguous situation and have created belief and institution that try to avoid that. In that terms, yes, कि एक जो people हैं वो किस तरीके से एक changing situations के अंदर react करते हैं. अगर situations change हो रही हैं, उनके reactions बहुत ज़्यादा हैं, या situations change हो रही हैं, they were taking it lightly. So in that case, उन्हें किस तरीके का fears या किस तरीके की threatens आती हैं, any kind of ambiguous situations. So in that case, create a belief institutions to avoid these such situations. So in that terms, the higher uncertainty avoidance country is the country where high need for securities, strong belief in experts and their knowledge, structural organization activities, more written rules was there, less managerial risk taken. So in that terms, yes, managers या managerial levels जो हमारे authorities होते हैं उनसे किसी तरीके का risk नहीं होता है. They were not taking any initiative of taking high risk. बहुत ज़्यादा रिटन रूल्स होते हैं जब एक कंट्री के अंदर, स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं, स्ट्रॉन्ग बिलीव होता है एक्सपर्ट्स पर, और बहुत ज़्यादा सिक्योरिटीज़ की ज़रूरत होती है. सो इन दैट केस, येस, this is basically comes into the high uncertainties avoidance country, whereas low uncertainty avoidance countries are people are more willing to accept the risk of the unknown. That means people are willing to do that. Less structured organization activity would be there, few written rules was there, all are implied one, more managerial risk taken, higher employees turnover, more ambiguous employees. So these are the basically countries जब जो कि low uncertainty avoidance पर believe करती हैं. So we can say that the nation, the high uncertainty oriented nations tends to have a high need for security and a strong belief in the experts and their knowledge. So we can take the examples of nations like Germany, Spain and Japan, whereas in the low uncertainty culture they were more entrepreneurial, they were more innovative, they were more exhibited. So that comes into the low जैसे type of countries, the uncertainty avoidance. Then individualism is basically the concept, whereas we can say that individualism is the tendency of a people to look after themselves and their immediate families only. So in that terms, Hofstede measured that this culture difference on the biopoly terms with the individualism on one hand and a collectivism on the other hand. So there were the two concepts. One is collectivism and other is individualism. So in that terms, yes, as individualism is considering themselves and the immediate families, collectivism होती है tendency of a people to believe to the group and to look after each other in the exchange of loyalty. एक loyalty के behalf पर एक दूसरे को consider करना और एक दूसरे को देखना, that comes into the collectivism part. So in that terms, yes, एक country culture में हमारे individualism और collectivism भी एक part होता है, एक concept होता है. If there were high individualism countries, they were wealthier, they were protectionist, work ethic would be there, greater individual initiatives would be there, promotion based on market value would be there, like country like USA, Canada and Sudan was there. Whereas in the high collective countries, poorer, they were more poorer, they were less support to the Protestants' work ethics, they were less individual initiatives, promotion based on the seniorities. So in that case, they were the high collective countries, which are Indonesia and Pakistan. So in that case, Hofstede basically found that the wealthy country have a higher individualism scores, and the poorer countries have a higher collective scores. So in that case, this is the effect of the individualism and the collectivism of the countries into the various departments. Then masculinity. In that terms, yes, Hofstede basically defined this is a situation in which the dominant value in the society are success, money and things. So that means the more valuable concept in this part, that is more the success, money and things. So high masculine countries and there were the high feminine countries. So in that case, अगर बहुत ज़्यादा success, money and thinking concept है, so that comes into the masculine part. Whereas the country, we can say that in higher part, the stress earning was there, the recognition part was very high, the advancement was there, challenges, wealth, high job stress was there. So in that terms, this leads to the stressor part in that case. So that is what Germanic country was there. Then feminine countries are basically, they were more towards the care part, they were more towards the quality part, they were more towards the friendly environmental area, they were more towards the employment securities and group decisions making area, which lead towards the low job stress, like the Norway is a one country. So in that term, this comes into the masculinity. Then yes, there were the another theory which comes into a picture, that is the Globe project. Globe project is basically stating that it is considering the, or we can say the further explanation of all these dimensions which we studied upon in the Hofstede work. So in that case, yes, global project is carry forwarding the 9 dimensions. It is again straightforwardly dividing their concept, like the collectivism was divided into 2, the social collectivism and another is divided into the in-group collectivism. Same as they were the more assertiveness was there, future oriented or performance orientations or humanic orientations was there. So in that concept, yes, these are comes into the 9 dimensions. So the first dimension is the uncertainty avoidance. Uncertainty avoidance is the same which we studied in the Hofstede structure or work. That means this is basically related to the how the threatened feel people कितना ज़्यादा threatened feel करते हैं एक ambiguous situation में, और वो किस तरीके का belief या किस तरीके की institution create करते हैं when they actually feel like the uncertainties avoidance. That comes into the uncertainty avoidance part. Then in the power distance is the same, how much there was a difference between the, we can say that less powerful members होंगे अगर, तो फिर वहाँ पर distribution जो है उस country का unequal होगा. So in that terms क्या power distance है. Then collectivism 1 and collectivism 2. Collectivism 1 was basically describing about which is social collectivism. It is basically the degree to which individuals are encouraged to societal institution to integrate into the group within the organization and society. That means एक society के अंदर how the society is working or encouraging the individual to perform and to work in the group. And yes, in group collectivism, it is the extent to which society members take a pride in a membership in a small group, such as their family, circle of the close friends and an organization where they were employed. So in that term, this is basically considering the group into by the society's member. Then assertiveness is the another concept in it. Assertiveness is what? The trend to which the society encourage the people to touch, the to assertive, to competitive, to versus the moderate and trended. कितना ज़्यादा assertive रहना चाहिए, कितना ज़्यादा competitive रहना चाहिए. This is the another concept which is arises into in this. There is another, the gender differentiations, or we can say the egalitarianism. That is what? The extent to which the society maximize the gender role. So in that terms कि कितना gender role differences एक organization arise करती है. Future orientation is basically the extent to which a society encourage and what the future orientation's behavior patterns such as planning, investing in the future and delaying the gratifications. And yes, the performance orientation is basically the degree to which the society encourage and reward the group members. किस डिग्री पर एक इनकरेज किया जाता है मेंबर्स को, रिवॉर्ड दिया जाता है मेंबर्स को फॉर द परफॉर्मेंस इंप्रूवमेंट एंड एक्सीलेंस. Whereas the humane orientation is basically the degree to which a society encourage and reward the individual of being fair, genuine and caring and kind of others. So in that case human orientations में किस तरीके के रिवॉर्ड मिलते हैं परफॉर्मेंस ओरिएंटेशन में परफॉर्म करते हुए. फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेशन इज मोर टुवर्ड्स द फ्यूचर एस्पेक्ट. So these are the basically 9 dimensions which are given by the global leadership and organization behavior effectiveness, that is GLOBE, which began to update this research. The research of the Hofstede worked and they actually put in a updations on the certain these dimensions. So these dimensions are 9 in totality. GLOBE result was, GLOBE is basically stands for, as we state that the global leadership and organizational behavior effectiveness. So GLOBE result was सबसे पहला the correspondent generally with those of the Hofstede differences from Hofstede. That is same, that GLOBE concept is very much different from this theory. Then in that many more researchers with a wider perspective were involved. Yes, बहुत सारे researchers इन्वॉल्व थे. एक वर्किंग अलोन जैसा कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं था, बहुत सारी थिंकिंग एक साथ क्लब्ड थी. So that comes into the one result. Then GLOBE provide a current comprehensive overview of a general stereotype that can be further analysis for the greater sightness. Yes, in that case जहाँ पर एक single understanding और single mind mechanism की होने से एक बहुत ज़्यादा stereotyping भी हो जैसा concept था उसके अंदर. It is one of the weakness in the Hofstede concept. वो global ने remove किया था and they come to the further analysis of the greater sight and they try to remove the stereotyping concept and generate the comprehensive concept in the global area GLOBE. So that comes into the result of the GLOBE. Then yes, there are few questions which you have to do it yourself. First is what is culture and will the culture difference decline the international understanding. कल्चर क्या होता है और उसकी जो भी एक डिफरेंसेस होते हैं कल्चर के अंदर वो इंटरनेशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग को कम कर सकता है. एंड देन सेकंड इज व्हाट आर द डायमेंशंस ऑफ द हॉफस्टेड मॉडल. यस, हॉफस्टेड मॉडल की डायमेंशंस क्या है, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन देम. So yes, this is all about for the today's session. We were winding up here. So thank you so much. Happy learning. We learning.